Okay. So, so we will discuss about Open API Specification 3.0, full API lifecycle management, lifecycle support with the AnyPoint platform. So, how many people heard about Open API specification? Is there anyone who haven't heard about anything about Open API specification? I think the session will be like around 1 hour, so it will be not go more than 1 hour basically. So I will try to finish in 1 hour. Okay. Come back to this question again. So I will start with safe harbor statement. So both speaker and host are organizing this meetup in the individual capacity only. We are not representing our organization or our companies here. The presentation is strictly for the learning purpose only. The organizer presenter do not hold any responsibility. That same solution will work for your business requirement also. This presentation is not meant for any promotional activities. Okay. Housekeeping. So the recording of this meetup will be uploaded to event page within 24 hours, and also it will upload to YouTube, right? The question can be submitted, asked at any time in the chat, questions and answers tab. Make the session more interactive and give us the feedback. Raise this meetup session by filling the feedback form at the end of the day, and we love to hear the feedback from you. Okay. So organizer, myself Jitendra Bafna and Nitish Jain. So he is the senior software engineer at Accenture. So Nitish, would you like to give a brief introduction about you?
Sure, Jackie. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'm Nitish Jain. I'm all MuleSoft certified developer architect. I'm co-leading this Surat MuleSoft meetup with Jackie, and I'm MuleSoft mentor as well. Welcome, everyone, in 34th MuleSoft meetup.
Yeah. The speaker for meetup will be myself only. So I will give some just a small introduction. So I have like 14 years of experience in the integration and APIs technology, and I am working as a senior solution architect 3 at a EPAM Systems. And like I am leading a MuleSoft Surat and Nasik meetup group. I have a, like expertise in setting up the platforms, and also I have like expertise in various enterprise integration pattern, and have like done a lot of migration from on-premise to cloud up and cloud up to runtime fabric manager. So those I have those kind of experience. Yeah. So that is the brief introduction about me. So let me go through agenda. So we will start. We have already done with the introduction part. We will see why Open API Specification 3.0, and we will also discuss about Open API Specification 3.0 capabilities. Then we will have some live demonstration. We will do some exercise, and at the end of then also we will discuss about how we can create a API specification project in AnyPoint Studio, and how we can sync with the design center, and how we can use the git command to sync whatever Open API specification we are writing in the AnyPoint Studio to the design center. Then finally we will have a trivia quiz. Okay. So let me, like, before I start this session, let me ask few questions. So like uh, how many people have implemented a Open API specification in their projects? Does anybody is following a Open API specification?
Yes, Jackie, I do.
Any specific reason why you are using the Open API specification instead of RAML?
Uh, See, before RAML, so we were using the open specifications only, but RAML is moreover aligned with in the previous. If you see, like in the MuleSoft, we have only RAML specifications embedded, right? There is no open specifications in that, so to design. But we are in the migration project, so all the specifications were in open specification because. OS is open source. You can design the specification and you can use it, right? Even though RAML you can do that, but we have all the features in specific OS specification. So that was a Swagger tools we were used to design our specification first, and then we implemented all the APIs, and then we when we come into the MuleSoft, the migrations part, then we converted our OS into the what we say RAML, because we don't have the features to directly use the OS, but luckily right now we have the options to use the OS also.
Yeah. So
So
like
it's
you correctly said, like a lot of people migrating from like Spring Boot based API to MuleSoft, and from other tech to MuleSoft, right? So like other technology like Spring Boot, they support open API specification basically. And like if we want to utilize those API contract or those API specification in MuleSoft, right? You can directly import those open API specification into any point platform. So you are right. So do sometime like so open API specification is most widely accepted, like most of the technology it's supporting open API specification. And like MuleSoft Anypoint platform is mostly supporting RAML, but not recently, last year they put the support for open API specification 3.0 and 2.0 also. So where when you are migrating from one technology to MuleSoft, and in that technology your most of the like API specification written in OAS, right? So you can simply, like, you don't have to convert that into RAML. You can simply export those open API specification to your Anypoint platform. Yeah, you mentioned, right? Yeah. Okay. So why open API specification 3.0? So as I mentioned, so this is one of the widely adopted industry standard. So like most of the APIs are written in the open API specification. When I say written, most of the API are designed in the open API specification. It also enabled a core first developer experience. So basically like uh, you can just first write the open API specification, and later you can write implementation, right? So like you just go and design your open API specification. So generally it's something is it should be a design first. Okay, let me correct this. So it's enabled a design first developer experience. Then you can design your REST APIs. So you can design your REST API specification using open API specification, and it's meet a regulatory and the compliance requirement. So like there are a lot of compliance requirement where before we actually write the implementation, we need to design the API. So for that purpose, we can use this open API specification also. Apart from that, like open API specification is the industry standards which allow you to describe or design your RESTful APIs, and you can write OS in the JSON and the YAML format basically. So you can either write in JSON or in the YAML format. So in this particular session, we will going to use the YAML format only. It is mostly used for designing your APIs. So once you design your APIs, so you like the document can be generated automatically, and you can publish those API into Anypoint Exchange, and you can see the API specification into your developer portal. So we will going to see everything, so each and everything in our demonstration. Like till now, any question on API open API specification, it's the same kind, it's similar to RAML basically. So even with REST API modeling, you are designing your API basically. So with open API specification also, you are designing your API. They are the like different industry standards. So but the purpose of the both thing is like to design your API to enable a design first approach. Any question? Okay, let me go to next slide. So what are the capability provided by Anypoint platform for OS 3.0? So generally, we are just discussed now, we can export the existing OS 3.0 into your Anypoint platform design center. And also it provide a capability, you can convert your OS 3.0 into your RAML. So we have like a tool integrated with your design center, which provide a capability to convert your OS 3.0 into the RAML. So it is just a one click. I will going to show you how you can do that. Design OS 3.0 APIs with Anypoint platform and Anypoint Studio. So in today's demo, we are going to see how we can design a OS 3.0 with Anypoint Studio, and we can sync with Design Center using Git capability. Then publish OS 3.0 specification to Anypoint Exchange and share via developer portal. So same thing like RAML, like you can publish your RAML. So same like open API specification can be also published to the Anypoint Exchange, and it can be shared to the developers via developer portal. You can apply any kind of API policy on OS 3.0 with the API manager. So similarly, like you can go to API manager, you can create the API instance, and you can apply any policy, whatever available into your API manager. Basically, it provide like whatever capability provided by RAML, the same thing you can do with the Open API specification 3.0 also, right? And like we will see all these things so in our demonstration. So let's discuss about Open API specification 3.0 life cycle. So it provide all the capability. You can design your API, you can mock your API, you can like do the implementation directly, like you can simply Studio, and you can generate the flow automatically like using API kit router. So same thing like you can do with RAML, you can do same thing with the Open API specification. You can do the testing using mocking services and all those things, and it automatically generated documentation similar to the RAML. And you can do the deployment. Basically, you can, like when I say deployment, you can publish to Anypoint Exchange, and even you can like create your API flows and all those things using API kit router, and you can do the deployment. So it provide a complete API lifecycle management. So let discuss about so at during the design stage we can use the API designer, which is the design center. You can use the Anypoint Studio. So like either you can create your API specification directly into the design center, and even you can create a API specification into Anypoint Studio. So we will going to use the second approach, where because we have already used the design center many times, but we have never used, like I have never seen like anybody is using this Anypoint Studio for creating API specification. So Anypoint Studio provide all the capability. It provide IntelliSense, like you can mocking of your API, you can see the documentation of your API, everything you can do whatever you are doing in design center, you can do it from Anypoint Studio. And also like what happened, like whenever like you are creating your API in design center, so can anybody tell me where this API get stored, basically where this RAML Open API specification or RAML gets stored in Open API, like in your design center? Anybody can tell me this? Nobody knows. So guys, let me ask the simple question. When you are going to your Anypoint platform and you are creating your API specification in your Anypoint platform using design center, right? So like in background, what repository it is using basically?
Is it Git?
Yeah, it is using GitHub basically. Yeah, you are right. Yeah. So we will going to see like how we can like use the Git command to like commit your changes into your design center. We will see all those things. Okay. Then then the second life cycle stage is publish. You can publish your API to Anypoint Exchange. You can publish your API to Anypoint API Community Manager, that is ACM. Then you can also create a connector, basically that is the REST connector. Okay. So then it comes to implement. So as I mentioned, like with Anypoint Studio, you can create a project using that. You can import your Open API specification, and it will automatically create a flows and API kit router for you. You can deploy your application on Mule runtime engine, and you can operate or using API manager. Like you can create, you can just enable the API auto discovery, or you can create the proxy on the top of your API, and you can apply any kind of policy you want, like with Open API specification also. Any question here?
Jackie, quick question. The open specification lifecycle is only valid for 4.3 or to later, or it is also valid for 4.20, the runtime
No, I haven't got your question. Like 4 point, like can you repeat once again?
I'm saying the version I'm talking about, runtime version I'm talking about.
It supports 2.0 and 3.0 right now.
Okay.
So 3.0 is the latest version of Open API specification. I don't think there is a Open API specification came out yet.
I'm saying runtime manager. It's supported by.
No, it's not like that, right? So basically, if you can write the like Open API specification. It doesn't like you can deploy I need to check whether like Open API specification support in Anypoint Studio. You are talking about Mule runtime 3.0, right?
Yeah, 4.2.0. Yeah.
No, 4.2.0 it's supported, but I don't think it's supported for 3.0 basically. A mule runtime 3.8 or 3.9. I haven't checked this, but 4.3 and 4.2, 4.44 this supported basically.
Okay.
4.2.2 basically. 4.2.2 supported, 4.3.0 supported, 4.4.0 supported.
Yeah, but we were facing the issue for 4.2.0, so
No,
we
I
were
think
not able
it's
to get
came
that.
in
Yeah,
last year Feb 2021, right?
yeah,
With the
yeah,
four
yeah, yeah.
with mule version 4.2.2 basically.
Correct, correct. We were finding the option why we are not getting these options, but then again later we when we jump into the 4.3.0, then we find out that option. So
Yeah,
that's why
it
I'm
support up
saying,
like
yeah.
it support from 4.2.2 basically.
Correct, correct, correct. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Then so this is all about OPI open API specification. I will later explain the difference between open API specification 3.0 and the RAML. You will come to know like when I will write it. This is like I will not going to explain right now because first we will write a open API specification and later I will going to showcase. Like you will also come to know what is the difference between open API specification in RAML in the terms of development. Like the purpose of both is like to publish to design your API. Correct. The purpose is same, but the way of writing the open API specification and the RAML is it's different. I think RAML provide more reusability options as compared to open API specification. So like RAML have something called resource type, you have a threads, you have a security schemes, you have a libraries, and like you have a libraries, you have fragments. So there are a lot of things available, right, with the RAML, but those kind of thing is not available in the open API specification. But with open API specification, we have something called callback URL. So if you have some asynchronous APIs, correct, and like if you want to send for that particular asynchronous API, if you want to send the response back to callback URL, you can configure those kind of thing in the open API specification, which is not available in the RAML. So there are a lot of people reach me and ask me like, is like, can I put the callback URL anywhere in the RAML? So my answer is always like you can make use of description or something like that, because like RAML like doesn't have something where you can go and configure your callback URL. So that capability is not available. So these are the some difference between open API specification and the RAML. But one thing RAML provide so we will going to see like in open API specification, you don't have a resource type, you don't have a threads, you don't have data types. You have types, data types, but you can write in the same file. But in RAML, you can keep it a separate option or separate file where you can write the data types and library and those kind of things. Okay. So we will going to take
I
a
believe
simple
Vijay,
use.
sorry, Siddhartha, please go ahead. Yeah.
Simple use case. So like we will take a four. We will going to define a four endpoints. Retrieve all the post, like get post. It's a simple use case related to post. Then create a post. Then retrieve a single post. Then delete a post. So these are the four things we will going to use in our demonstration. Then also what kind of demonstration we will see. We will create an open API specification with Anypoint Studio API specification project and sync with the design center using Anypoint Studio and the Git. Then we will define a resources, path parameter, headers, components, and in open API specification we will define a security schemes. We will publish open API specification 3.0 to Anypoint Exchange. We will see like if we can create API instance in API manager, and we will apply the policies. So we are going to see the complete life cycle for the open API specification 3.0. Okay, so let me do one thing before I jump into demo. Any question? Anil, I already like mentioned, right? So what are the advantage? Open API has any advantage, So there are two things I think it will skip, I think, So like it will going to skip that particular part, Prasant. It doesn't support. RAML doesn't support, it will skip that. Okay. So let me create a project. So like what you can do, so you can go to your Anypoint Studio, you can simply say new. So you have something called API specification project. Let me open a design center at the same time. So let me go to my design center. If you see, I have a few projects in my design center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let me create a project. I will say project new API specification project. So you can select, instead of mule project, you can select API specification project. I'm waiting. Okay, so let me give the username. So just you have to ensure that like you may have a multiple instance of your any, like you may have a, or like a user ID for the multiple instance of Anypoint platform. Just make sure you select the correct username where you want to create this particular specification. Okay, so here are many users, so I will just select Jitendra, like I want to create this option. Basically what kind of you want, YAML 1.0, YAML. So I will go with Open API specification YAML 3.0, and I will say post sys API. Okay, and I will say finish. So it will create a project for you. So make sure the firewall is open. So basically, like in your personal laptop, everything will be fine. But you are if you are working at a client laptop, your firewall must be open basically to anypointplatform.com. Here you can see the Git thing, like whatever changes you will do here. So you can just commit to your design center. Okay. The next thing, let me go to design center and verify whether the project has been created or not. Let me refresh it. So you can see the project has been created in your design center also. You can see that, right? So first time whenever you are creating the project, it will automatically create in the design center also. So make sure you are selecting the correct Anypoint platform user ID and the password. Okay, so let me give like this is some header parameter, and I need to add some more information. So like I want to add some contact details and all those things. I want to add some description. So this is some default like default information like created when you created your Open API specification. Then I can add something called description. You just say control space, so it will give that. So you can see you have an option, it generating the document here. You can see that. Even you have option to turn on your mocking service. You can see everything here. And here it also create a exchange.json file, right? So I will add the description here. So this API is related to the blog post. Okay, you can see whatever you are writing it here, it is reflecting in your documentation also. Then I can provide terms and service. Like sometime you have a terms and service, you can provide the URL for that. So I can say www.example.com/tnc. Okay, this is terms and condition. If you want to provide a contact detail for this particular API, you can do that. Email, and I can say at gmail.com. Then also you can provide the name, Jitendra, and you can provide your company URL here. I can say http www.example.com. Okay, so and you can provide your contact page. Basically this is your contact page, so you can see everything. If you want to add any custom field, you can always use X hyphen, and I can, or something like this, X hyphen, I can say phone number. Give any phone numbers, but this will not going to reflect in your documentation. But in case if you need like some hidden field, some custom field, you can make use of this. I will remove for now. Okay. So now you want to add the URLs basically, like so you want to add the URL, so you can say servers. API URL, then you can say URL. If you want to provide one URL, you can simply say http api.example.com/p1. But I have a multiple environment, and it is not always going to API, right? And I want to support all the protocol, HTTPS as well as HTTPS. So I can do the parameterize. So simply I can put in the single quotes. I can create a variable. So I can say, if you want to create a variable, you can say protocol. Okay, and here I can say environment. Okay, so that is how you can create. Now you can go next. You can say tab variables. Now you have to declare your variable protocols and everything. You have to provide the value for this protocol and everything. Right, then you can define environment. Under environment, you can set a default value. I can say API is my default value. Then you can provide enum. So I have API, which is for production. This is just a comment. I have a API.dev. This is for development. This is just a different URL I'm setting up, and this is for API.staging. I can say this is staging environment. Okay. So now the next thing I want to add. So I want to make sure the alignment is proper. I can go down, and it will automatically show protocol. I can say default is HTTPS. Then here enum, I can say, then I can say HTTPS. Okay, so this is how you can define your servers. A server is like your API URL basically. Okay, now I will come to this particular thing, which is very important. So like we need to define a path basically, right? So here is the place where you can define the path. I will remove this curly bracket. I will say post. So what is our first use case? Retrieve all the post basically, right? So we will going the post. So I will use the resource path as a post, correct? Then I will say tab control space. I will search for get method. Then I will provide a description. It's a mandatory field. You have to provide a. I will say retrieve. I think spelling mistake. All the posts. Then you can define a responses, because for get we don't have to define any kind of request. Don't require it. You can define a 200. Then you can place a control space. You can say what is the content type. In my case, a content type is application JSON, right? So that is what you can define it here. Then either you have to define a schema here. Then within schema you can define properties here. So if I start defining properties here, I cannot reuse that for a different APIs. Like I can define all the property scheme, but I want to use that particular schema for multiple APIs, like or for multiple endpoints basically. How can I do that? So there is something called components. So you can define the component. Under the components you can define your schemas. So let me do that right now. So I will not going to define a properties here. So instead of that, I will go here and I will define a components. So components. Under components, I will define schemas. I will give the schema name. So it can be post. You can give any name. Then I want to define what is the type of schema. Either it can be object or it can be array. So for me, it's object. Then I will define a property. This kind of data type you are defining in your RAML, basically. Then here I will start defining my fields, and which is of type string. I can give example, which is 1, 2, 3, correct? Then I will copy this. I want to define more. Okay. Then, so what type of post is? I will say it's a technical post, right? Then I can title. So I can say MuleSoft introduction. Then finally, you can define a body. So content. So I will just put anything like, just for just just I'm putting anything right now. Now you have to tell which are the field required basically. So you can define those kind of thing also. So like how can you? So I want like ID, type, title, and as a mandatory field. How can you do that? So basically, you have something called required here. Under required, you can just press tab. I want ID. I want type. I want a title. I want a body. Okay. So this is how I have defined it. Now I want to reference this it here basically, So I've defined it my type basically, a component or my schema. So which have four fields. So like ID, type, title, body, and I require all these four fields basically. So I have defined that, and now how can I use here basically? So can anybody tell me in RAML what we do, like what kind of tag or what kind of like inbuilt tag we use basically, or functions we use if you want to add some data type into your main RAML 5? Anybody? Yes, Krishna, you are correct. Siam, you are correct. Deepesh, you are correct. You use include. But here, what we do, we don't use include. Instead of that, we use $ref. Then we say single quotes has components schema post, right? So it will automatically comes, and I think there's a double quotes. We need to remove it. Either you can now if you go here, so still it's giving error. So let me check what is the error. Okay, so I forget to for we have to provide a description here, which is mandatory. So you can say successful response, some kind of description. Now if you go here and if you so post, if you click on get, like you will see everything, like so what here you can see, like this is my environment, default is api dot, like we are providing what kind of url you can use for if you want to consume the api from staging. You can use api staging, api dev, and like what kind of protocol support. And here you can see the like the schema which we have defined here, you can see. But my question is that I can have a multiple post in single request because I'm retrieving all the posts, right? And I want an array for that. So what I will do here, can anybody tell me, like can anybody, we use something for type, we use something called the square bracket, right? For type, correct? But here we have something else. What we have to do, I will tell you. So let me do one thing. I want to just make sure. So here I will define one more type, posts. Okay. Then I will say this post is type array. Then I will say items. Then I will say ref. And I will just simply copy this one. So I will make this as a array. And here I will change this post to post. And if you see it here again, let me go to URL, get. So you can see this is array now, right? This is the array. Any question? So we have defined one method, right? But if you see, like in a RAML, we can like use this particular content in the resource type, and we can reuse for each and every method. But here it's not possible. We cannot do that. We have to write this again, duplication, all those things. So now I will define for the post. Let me make sure alignment is proper. I will say post. I will say description. I will say create posts. Then now, can anybody tell me what are the things we require for the post? Can anybody on the mic and just let me know what are the things we will require for the post?
Request body.
Yeah, we require request body. That is correct. Okay, so we will say request body. We have a tag called request body, and we require it. So I will say required true. You are right. Then I will say content. So it's same like what we. So here sometimes it not giving the IntelliSense for application /JSON, but we can type it manually /JSON. Okay, and you just simply say enter. Then you can say schema. So I will say $ref. Then I can copy this post. So I can do the single post at a time. I will remove this particular array. Let me see why this error. Response, yeah, response will come here. So after request body, I want to provide the response also. So he will always have a response, right, for your request. Not this way. Let me do. Response. So again for response, I will say 201, and under 201 I can simply say description. So I can say blog post created. Right. So now I have created my post request also. So let me go to documentation. We will see more thing like so how to handle the errors and all those things. So here you can see this is my request and this is my response basically. This is my response 201. Okay, now I want to add some error handler codes basically like 401, 405, whatever like so we have to go to components. So like error code we need to define for each and every resources, right? So I cannot go and define error for each and every resources. Like I cannot define the schema for each and every error codes basically. So for that, what we can do, so we can make use of components. Okay, so let me go to components and let me press enter. I will say alignment is very important. You can say responses, not response body, only responses. Okay. Under responses, I can define one kind of request, which is 400 bed request error. Then you can say description, and I will say bed request. Then you can define a content type. So I have a content type application JSON. Then either you can define the schema here, or you can define the schema some different kind of schema here. So for like if you want to reuse, so you can define something like schema here, and later you can ref it. But let me see if I can do it from here. So let me. I will say error, and under say type, say object. Right, because I want to define the schema for errors also. Like I need to send some kind of errors, right? So I can say code, which is error code, and I can say type, which is of type string. Then I can say example 400 and error message type string. Then you can give an example error while processing request. Now here in application JSON, I can just say control clear. Sorry. So you can just wrap schema. Then I can say $ref. $ref, then I can simply copy this. And I can simply say this is error. Same thing I will define for 500 also. You can say 500 internal server error, and here I can say internal server error. Okay, now I will define for 401 also. I will define it here. Unauthorized error, and here I can say unauthorized error. Okay, so we have defined it. What is the error? So now I have defined my all the error responses. Now how I can define those error responses into my main RAML basically. So what, it's very simple. You don't have to do much of work now. You have done all the main work, and you can go to under responses. You can simply say, like, you just say praise. You can search for 400. Okay, simple. Then under 400, you can simply say $ref, and I can say component 400. Simple. Like, then I also have to define, like, it's not 400. Something, I put something wrong here. I have to go with 400 bad request. Then I can define 401. Unauthorized. Then I can define 500. I will simply copy this thing. I can define for my get also. Right now, if you see your API post and the get, okay, so you can see 400, 500, everything, like everything is there. All responses are there. Like, this is how you can make the reusability into your open API specification.
Jackie, there are two questions. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like Rishabh is asking about the protocol, the dynamic you made it, the how you made the URL dynamic, and one from Prashant. Can we make the optional fields in OAS?
Yeah, if you don't put a required equals to true, then it's an optional field. By default, it's optional. If you are putting required equals to true, then it become mandatory basically. But if you, for post, required must be always true basically. So that's a requirement, right? For post, like if you are using application JSON and if you want to post something, then it is always mandatory to have a body. So, like, Rishabh, I haven't got your question. It should be protocol. I have put that only, right? It should be protocols environment only. Where, like,
Yes,
because if you
in API console it is showing HTTP, and then it's showing protocols.
let me
API console,
check. Let me
Anypoint
check.
Studio.
Where?
API based URL.
Okay. Yeah. So let me check what happened here. Have I put something wrong in my specification? Let me check. Okay. So
Yeah, could
this seems to be some
single quotes.
bug. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
sorry. No, it's
single
fine. It's
quote
fine.
should not create issue. It seems to be some bug actually. Yeah, you are right. It seems to be some bug basically. Like, it should not add the HTTP automatically. So you are correct. So this might seems to be some bug actually.
Okay.
Okay. So you got it, like what I have done, right? Now let's see if this thing has been reflected in my design center or not. Let me go to design center and let me check this. It should not be, right? It haven't reflected in design center, and we are working on the master branch. You can create development, whatever branch you want. So if you want to reflect this thing into your design center, what you can do, you can, it's showing like this particular file has been changed. You can simply click on add, right? And you can just message edit new resources, and then you can say commit and push. Everything is committed. Let me check now. Let me refresh it. Yeah, now you can see your changes is also in your design center. Now, can anybody tell me what differences you find in RAML and this open API specification? Can anybody just make this session a bit interactive?
So we can't use the reusability, right? So you're multiple dollar ref, but but in RAML we can use the slash.
But we are doing reusability, right? See,
Yeah, but we cannot save those.
See,
no.
I think,
So
can you
for
please go on
example, if you
mute?
want to save the, yeah,
Because your voice is echoing, I think, my correct. So like if you see like you are right basically. So if you see I'm doing this reusability here, you can see that I'm defining like bed requests, like responses, and I'm reusing across the multiple resources. Correct. Now you can tell me like exactly what you are saying.
no. For example, if save the file like in RAML, right? Somewhere in examples and all. So we can call that, but we cannot do in YAML in this OS, correct?
You are right, because like OS doesn't support like resources type, all those kind of things, threads and like libraries and fragments, and also other thing like whatever we are creating in RAML, we create a fragments basically, and the fragments can be reused across the multiple APIs, but here it's not possible. Correct. You are getting the difference between RAML and open API, right?
Yes.
Correct. Now also like let me define some more thing. Okay. So I want to get a single post. Just a minute. Something is right. Yeah, it's right. You will come to know one more thing here. Now, if I want like post slash ID, give a description, retrieve single post. In RAML, like we don't have to write this post again, right? It automatically follow the hierarchy. When I write the post, I can simply write the ID. I put one extra tab and put the ID, automatically follow the hierarchy. But here I mentioned this like this way. Okay, so that is also one difference. So retrieve a single post. Then like I need to give some kind of method name. Then I have to define a responses. Then I have to define 200. Then I have to define the content type, application JSON, then schema, ref. I will use the post. And what is the error? I know we haven't given the description. I want to put tab. Fetch single post. I will copy this error, this responses again, not to this one. Right, so I copy that. But you can like now you have to tell like ID is some kind of URI parameter. You are showing in URI also, but you want to tell somewhere here also. So what you can do under the get, you can pass something called parameters. And say parameters. So under parameter, I can say in. So what kind of parameter is this? Header. Okay. Then also you can define a name. So name is ID. Then it's not header parameter actually, sorry. It's a path parameter. Correct. And then you can like, I think a path, and you can mention required true. Then you can define the schema for it. Like you just define the type of, and I will say type, not ref, string. Right. And why I'm getting this error, let me check.
It's due to the wrong name
Yeah,
schema.
this is, yeah. Schema. Still there is an error. Let
Re-
me check.
required also.
Yeah, something is typing. Thank you. So we have defined the path parameter, and same way we can define some header parameter also. If you want to define some kind of header parameter, I can just say in. Let me do one thing better. I will copy this. Just press enter. So they come on same line. So I can say in. I want some header parameter, which is X correlation ID. And this is required true. And you can also define like max, like, you can also, so there are a lot of things you can define like max length, all those kind of things. So that is also possible. You can define the regular expression patterns and everything. So I've defined post ID and like with the responses also. So this is good. Now I want to define one more method. We have seen how we can define the path parameter and header parameters. You can define multiple header parameters using this in keyword, and you can define the query parameters. Just instead of header, it will come params basically. So that is how you can define that. Now next thing, we will say delete. We want to also have one use case where like we have to delete it, delete the post. Delete. Then under delete, so I under delete, what are the things we need to do? Can anybody tell me? So again, for delete, we require this particular parameters, right? So I can copy this and define it here. So parameter is fine. So why it's giving error? Yeah, responses will become. For delete, we don't require any kind of body. So I can say responses, and or I will use 204 for delete, deleting resources. I can use a description. I can say post is deleted, right? So let me check this, and so let me save this. Okay, and if you see like everything is there, if you want to delete, so you can see like post is deleted like this. If you want to try it out, so you can definitely try it out. So there is some problem here, so it's a kind of bug actually. So we can remove it. I will just enable the mocking service from here, so you can enable the mocking service on. Okay, so it's saying like there is some local changes which has not moved to design center. I will show you other option. How can you do that? So basically with the git also. So I will just use the command prompt. I can cd, I can paste, I can say git add dot, I can say git commit -m new resources edit. I can say git push origin master. Okay, I have to put the username password. First time it will ask for username and a password. Okay, the changes has been moved to GitHub API. So here, let me refresh it. So we have added the delete and those method. So once I will refresh it, it will show that. Okay, so here you can see post ID, delete methods, and everything is there. So you can see that. So you can use this git command also. Now you should ask me like how this project comes to know on which git URL I need to commit the code changes, right? So once you create a project, it configure automatically everything for you. So if you see there is a .git folder should be there actually. Let me check. Let me refresh it.
It would be a hidden folder. It should be a hidden folder, I guess. .git.
Yeah, it's a hidden folder. Yeah, it's a git folder, and under config, if you open this config file, yeah, this is the endpoint. It picked this. This is the git repository endpoint. You can find under this config. Yeah, you find the name and everything. So once you create the project, it automatically create .git folder for you, and it which having all the git repository path, and you can directly integrate with Jenkins also. I will see, like if I have a time, I will show that part also. Okay, so this is clear, right? Any question on this? So exchange, see, it's a internal MuleSoft thing, right? So basically, like we are publishing, like whenever you're writing your API on the design center, it get saved in the GitHub basically, and whenever you publish your API, so it's an internal connectivity. I'm not sure like how they are connected with each other, but yeah. So there might be something like between like Exchange and GitHub. Okay. So apart from
Jitin, hi Jitin, this is Sriram.
yeah.
Can we modularize the repeated code? I mean,
so we have done this, right? We have done this. So I already told you, like we don't have any resource type like where we can like like it's the same piece of code which can be written into resource type, and I already told we don't have such capability here.
Okay, all right.
Hi, Jitendra. Aman this side.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Aman, tell me.
Yeah, actually, my query is like your exchange is connected with Git, but how did you get that particular Git credentials?
No, you have to use the Anypoint platform credentials only.
Okay.
Your Anypoint platform. So MuleSoft will take care of everything. Like you don't have to create. You don't have to give any Git credentials. It's not as different. It's the same credential which you are using for your Anypoint platform and creating the API specification.
Okay, in that Git file which you were showing, that header information is pre-populated. Like we don't need to put that. Or
no, you don't do any changes here, right? No, it's all pre-populated.
Okay, thank you.
It's automatically like pre-populated. Like this is my GitHub URL. All.
Okay, fine.
So what is the next demo? Like I can publish this to Anypoint Exchange from here also. I was doing some testing. Like mocking services is on now. And like I can go to I will just test one or two method, get method, and try it out. Yeah, there is some mistake. So I will just remove one of the protocol, otherwise it will not work. It's a bug actually. Happening this. Open Notepad. So protocol, I will just change to HTTP for now. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, so I will just send the request. Okay. So like I think it's some kind of bug here. So instead of that, we can directly use the URL also. Okay. So like instead of this URL will be not reachable basically. Correct. So let me test with we can just a minute, try it out. Yeah, it is not. not so like once we deploy the API on this, right, then we can test it. But let me check whether some kind of mocking thing available here. Yeah, it's not giving a mocking service. If we remove this particular part, right, if we remove this particular URLs and all those things, so we need to add some kind of like, so basically like it was saying like this URL must be deployed somewhere. Basically it's not like RAML where we are getting the mocking URL. Okay, so that is one of the thing like we need to check. Like right now I am not getting any mocking service for this particular like open API specification. So like once this API instance is available, you can test it basically. Okay.
Jackie, there was one more
But
question from Debu.
Yeah.
Debu Singh. He was asking
you
about
can.
some query params. In
Yeah.
OS, we can design API where we need to pass only one query parameter. Like in RAML, we can do using query string.
Can you repeat like?
Yeah, it's quite up. If you scroll once, yeah, this one. Yes.
So can you repeat like, can we design the API where we need to pass only one query parameter like in RAML? We can do using, no, here you have to use like we don't have that capability also, Debu. Like here you have to use like in parameter, and like you have to just define that params, and like we don't have something called query string or here basically. No, like Krishna, it will not work because like even if I remove this protocol from there, right, so basically like what will happen, that particular API instance is not deployed basically, right? So let me try one more thing. If I remove this, so then it give me a some, like if I don't define this server, right, then it will give me a URL, a mocking URL basically. Let me go to get and let me try it out and let me send. We got 200. Okay, if I'm defining the server, then it will like not provide any mocking URL. So okay, you got it. So if to get the mocking URL, so you should not define the servers basically, like so right now I removed that server part, and it give me a mocking URL basically, and which you can use for testing purpose. Let me keep the servers again. Let me save it. Okay, Krishna, is this clear? Yeah, it's a bug actually. It should not happen like that. We have defined the variable, then it should pick from there. So it's a kind of a small bug basically. You got it right. So to get the mocking URL, you can remove that server entry. So this is done. Now next thing, we can publish the API to Anypoint Exchange. So you can say manage API specification and publish to Exchange. So you can do it from here, or you can do it from Design Center. And we will see. I will try to do with local changes. Okay, were found. I think we need to check in the code everything. So let me check what kind of local changes. Yeah, it's there. Let me add it. Changes done. And just commit and push. Okay, it's committed. Let me publish to Anypoint Exchange. So you can publish to Anypoint Exchange from here. So let me go to Anypoint Exchange and let me check whether API has been there. Still it's getting. Any question? Yeah, Prashant, like this kind of capability is not available for now. Basically, like Yes, like you can, like you have an option, like if you create some kind of YAML file, and you can definitely use that YAML, like you can define your components in different file, and you can definitely use that components file into your main open API specification file. That is possible. But if you want like resource type threads, that is not possible. So it is just downloading some dependency the first time.
Jackie, there is one more question from Aditya. How to
Mhm.
convert RAML to
Yeah,
OAS
I'm
and
coming.
vice? Okay.
I will show that part also. So I will going to show one Jenkins integration also. That is not part of today's demonstration, but I will show that.
Great.
Till that, let me do one thing. I will just start my Jenkins also. I will start creating a Jenkins file. So let me create a Jenkins file. So let notepad. I can say a pipeline, including bracket. I can say agent any. Under agent, I can define a stages. Okay. And within the stages, I can define stage. And within the stage, I can define a steps. Okay. The next thing, I will try to run Anypoint CLI. So I have already set up. I have already set up of Anypoint CLI on my machine. So I can simply say bat. Then I can say Anypoint CLI. This is the command. Then I will say design center. So I want to call. I want to do something with the design center project publish. So this is the command for publishing any asset. Then you have to give a asset name. So yeah, it is successfully published to Anypoint Exchange. So let me check and cross verify it. So this is the API, and like this is the API. And if you want this API to be shared on developer portal, you can simply say, I can say public, save it, and like okay, you can click it here. You can say public portal. So we are seeing like full API lifecycle management. Like you can see all the endpoints like get and everything. It's giving a proper specification. Here it is giving right. So it's only problem why it's adding the HTTP. So I will just check this. It should not be happen like this. Exactly, this should be some kind of bug actually. And see, yeah. So you can see all the APIs and everything is here. What I will do, I will delete for now. So I'll try to publish the same thing, with Jenkins also. So let me go to my design center. Let me just say publish. I will not going to publish Exchange from here. I have to pass some parameter. The first thing I have to pass a project name. So I'm just trying to copy post sys API. So what is the project name? Is the post sys API. Then I have to pass a name of API. I will give just name same. So with which name I have to publish? I want same name. Okay. Then I think you have a asset ID version, API version. Then you can say API version 1.0.0. And finally, you have to give a group ID, which is your business ID. So let me copy my business ID from somewhere. So you can go to API Manager, I think. It's taking some time. Okay, I get information, and this is my not environment ID. I want a business ID. Yeah, done. And paste it. This is my file is ready. A Jenkins file. I can copy this, and what I will do, I will create a Jenkins file here. New file. Say finish. Control V. This is my Jenkins file, and version everything is good. Then I will go to Jenkins. Okay, I can say new item, create a pipeline, like post API to Exchange. I will simply say OK, right? And what I have to do, I will go to advanced, not advanced, like not pool SCM. Just a minute. I have to change this pipeline script to pipeline from SCM. Okay, I have to give a SCM path. It's a Git. So what is your repository path? Somebody can tell me how to find a repository path. It's easy. Let me copy this. And go to this config file. You can copy this URL. I think I should have I already have a configured, like you can add the credentials. For me, it's not this one. I think no, I want to add global credentials, username with a password. I can say edit. Okay, I have added that. It should not give the error. Yeah, error is gone, so it's successfully connected. So I want to do on master branch, and if I want to poll SCM, I can say poll SCM. When I want to poll SCM every 1 minute, I'll put 5-star. So I can say save. Right. So right now it will not going to do anything, because I want to change upload the changes. So I will use this. First I will say git pull origin master. I want to make sure everything is up to date. Git add dot git commit -m Jenkins file git push origin master. Okay, let me check if that's fine. This is the old one. So, yeah. Now it will try to pull the code for second time, because we have put the SCM equals to 1 minute, something like 1 minute. And let me check, is there anything in Exchange? It take at least 1 to 2 minutes. As soon as it will get the changes, it will automatically pull it. or let me do some changes. I can do like, so even like it will not work because like I like any point CLI is not set up on my thing. So let me check work speed flow expecting. Yeah, I know what's the problem.
I think single code did not end.
Yeah, that's a problem. It will not work because I want to set up because want to set up the AnyPoint CLI. I don't think AnyPoint CLI is set up on my machine, so I don't want like just I want to want to show it. It will check out the code from GitHub and it will try to perform the operation. So that's the thing I need to showcase. I know the problem because it happens. So you can say publish. See it obtained like it able to check out the code. You just don't worry about this GitHub thing. So like I just want to showcase the demo, so it is able to successfully check out the code and it's failure, right? That's fine because AnyPoint CLI is not installed on my laptop. So you can see that like it able to check out the code from your repository. So that is what I want to show. So this is how you can easily integrate with this Git with your and Jenkins also. Any doubt on this? Okay, the last demo I will going to show how you can convert a file into the RAML. Basically, you go to Design Center, go to PostGIS API. You can simply click on this three dot. You can say duplicate as a, and you can say a RAML. You can say duplicate. So it will create a RAML for you basically. So you can see the RAML has been created for you. It will not give that user-friendly RAML, but yeah, it will going to create some initial RAML for you basically. You can see that. Then later, like you can remove all those things, like it doesn't require. So you can see it, you can start it from here basically. So it's simple, like you can simply convert it into RAML. Just you click on this, you can do that. Any question before? Like I think I have covered everything related to Open API specification. Yeah, one thing like let's create API instance also. I just forget to show that last demo also. Let me first publish to AnyPoint Exchange. You can see the Jenkins files came here basically. Publish. Okay, now it's published. Now I can go to API manager. manage API from Exchange, and you can search for post. Will show. It will automatically say like what are the version. I can say endpoint with proxy or basic endpoint, and I can remove this URL for now. I can say save. So your API instance is ready, and now you can go to policy, and you can apply any kind of policy, whatever you want, like all policies, whatever policy you want. So that is how you can manage your open API specification with API manager also. Yeah, so we have covered a lot of things in today's demo. I think I have covered almost everything which you can do with open API specification. And finally, like if you want to see, like you can we can create a project also. So you can say file new mule project, and I can say post API app, whatever. Then like here, if you see, you cannot import a file, basically download the file RAML, from Design Center. So like RAML, like you cannot do that. So for that, you have to select this particular option and a plus sign. So generally, when you create a RAML, right, you import it from here, basically, like But for Open API specification, you can click from here and from Exchange. So I'm waiting. It should search and it will showcase here. Where is my open? Not open, sorry, post. You can see the post API. You can simply edit. You can say finish. You can say finish. So you can see all flows and everything has been created. Like you can see that API Gate router, everything is there. So it's the same. Only the difference is that you don't have to use the import like from RAML. You have to use the first option, like import from Exchange, basically. So that is the option you need to use. So rest of the things remain same. Okay. So I think we have covered everything. So if anybody have any question, just let me know. Before I hand over session to Nitish, who will going to run a trivia quiz. And also I will stop the recording. Thank you so much for joining the session. I hope you like the session.